I want you to think about this with me for a second. What if you were just one shift away from having the life and the healing business of your fucking dreams? What if you were just like one little tweak away from having the embodiment or being in the embodiment of the healer, of the spiritual business that you desire to have? What if you were just one shift away from everything just locking into place and you're like, I fucking get it. And you start just living out the way that you desire to live out, free from fear. This is exactly the type of thing that we're going to talk about today. And I'm so excited to be here with you today. I have been doing a Healing the Witch Wound series on my podcast, The Untamed Healer. Go listen. It's all on oops. Sorry, kitty. I just was like, what is that? My cat's underneath me. She's always near me every time I go live or when I'm doing a podcast recording. I talk about her all the time. She's like running in my face. So I'm sure she'll be up here because she wants all the love. Anyway, so I've been doing a Healing the Witch Wound series on my podcast, The Untamed Healer. You can find that anywhere on the podcast platforms. And I have done 1 through 3 so far. And today I was like, wouldn't it be fun if I just went live? I've been feeling this on my heart for probably about a week now, but I'm coming out of my period and like, if you know, your girl is like not about to go do all the things while I'm on my period, like basics and that's it. So anyway, we're here, we're feeling more alive, we're feeling more human. And I was like, let's fucking do this. So this episode, or this live rather, if you're watching me live, I am going to pop this on my podcast as well. So you can go re-listen to it with ease. I'm also going to share with you some journaling prompts. So I've got my notes pulled up because that way we can stay on topic as well. If you have questions as I'm going through this, feel free to pop them below. We're going to talk about the 4th most common witch wound that I see amongst healers after working with healers for many years across the world. There are 5 main ones that show up, and today we're going to talk about the 4th one. So if you haven't listened to the first 3, go listen to the Untamed Healer podcast. Hey, Santi. And let's dive in. So we're going to talk about what this one is. I'm going to share with you how it shows up in your life and your business. I'm going to share with you what this looks like when you actually heal it. And I'm going to give you journaling prompts. You're amazing too. and then, ask questions along the way. Hey, Sam. Okay. So the 4th most common witch wound that I see amongst healers is there's this voice in your head that says that you are a fraud, or you're an imposter, you're deceptive, you're being manipulative. Raise your hand, give me an emoji if you have ever felt that way. Like if I show up and I share this, I feel like I'm a fraud. I feel like I'm being manipulative. I feel like I'm going to be seen as a fraud or an imposter. Is it even possible if I can do this? And when you listen to the other episodes, you're going to start to see a link between all of them where they kind of trickle into each other. And the way that we heal them is very, very similar. And everybody's experience is different. I'm going to take this off because otherwise it's going to annoy me. Isn't this so pretty? I just love this. If you're listening to it on the podcast, I have a chakra bracelet, literally with all the chakras. And I talk with my hands, so it's like jing-a-ling-a-ling-ling. Anyway, okay, so there is a link between all of the witch wounds. There's a link between how we heal them. And if you're in my world, you already know we do things radically fucking different. You wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be connected if you weren't ready for radically different. We already know how to do the shadow work, the inner child healing, the meditating, the breath work, the somatic work, the connecting with our spirit guides, the grounding, the energy healing, whether we're hiring healers or we're doing the energy healing or the Reiki or the alchemy on ourselves. And what I want to encourage you is if you don't have people in your world that you are hiring for support that can help you deserve to be supported. You are worthy of being supported. It's like literally the best thing that we can do for ourselves. The coven was never meant to be alone. Let me say that again. The coven was never meant to be alone. Do you hear me? We were meant to rise together. And I'm going to talk about this next week, actually, or maybe I'll get a wild hair at my ass and I'll go live later on this week. The next witch wound is like this conversation right here I could talk about forever. I could literally turn around and talk to this wall because I don't even care. I'm so batshit passionate about this. The coven was never meant to be alone. Do you hear me? Got it? Yes. Give me an A fucking men if you hear me. Okay. So let's dive into imposter syndrome. I have a very different approach with this because we're going to talk a little bit about self-sabotage, and we'll just break the internet, and I will speak this until I'm blue in the face because self-sabotage is bullshit. And the things that people are saying to pull you in to make you believe that you're sabotaging, that is not what we're doing here. And so we're going to talk about like when we heal this and how we heal this. And it's, yes, we're doing all of these things, all these amazing things that I just riffed on. And also there's like when I added in this missing piece of the energetics, like mastering energetics and like being able to spot different areas in my life where energetically, like there were leaks, there were doors open, or it's kind of like having a really fucking high bill in the summer for your electric, like a really high electricity bill in the summer. And you're like, okay, well, this is normal, but it's like $1,000 instead of like $500 or whatever. And you're like, okay, well, why is this? Why is my bill so much higher? And you start investigating, you start getting curious, and you walk around to all the rooms in your houses and you're like, okay, well, this is fine, this is fine, this is fine. But then you walk into a room that you're not typically in and you're like, oh, the window was open and all the blinds are open, and I didn't even realize I was letting electricity, I was just running my electricity and it was just going out the window because the door was open, the window was open. I don't know about you, but my Zindan, I hardly ever go in. My puppy and one of my other dogs are outside right now. So we'll see if they hopefully they make good choices. But I hardly ever go up into my Zindan, my office, to work. And I had a thought the other day. I was like, ooh, I wonder if I just go ahead and start making it a habit of closing the blinds in here because it faces the east side, which right now is fine. We're about to get into triple digits in San Antonio. So P.S. we've moved. We're in San Antonio now. We're no longer in South Dakota. Hey. But yeah, so I'm like, let's be intentional about closing these. Let's not let energy leak out where it's unnecessary. So mastering the energetics and subconscious reprogramming. You are a high vibrating soul having a human experience. You cannot bypass the subconscious mind. The end. Period. The end. Because we get to play in the realm of the 3D as well. So instead of just always like playing in these higher realms, instead of always playing just in these higher realms or desiring to always be in these higher realms, how about we be present and be in the human experience and also get curious as we're playing with this, as we're raising our frequency, as we are releasing things that don't serve us, as we are doing all the soul work, we're also doing the human work as well because it is not separate, it is one. Okay, so there's a voice inside of your head that tells you that you are a fraud, imposter, you're being deceptive, you're being manipulative. This is the fourth of the fifth top 5 witch wounds that I see. How this shows up or how this can manifest into your life is it's memories from lifetimes of being feared of your magic, of your abilities, of picking up on those stories from a soul level, but also from the collective consciousness. Because again, we are not separate. We are all one. Hey, Selena. And so in turn, in your personal life, so I want to talk about what this looks like in our personal lives and what this looks like in our business, because whether you have a business or not, it can show up in both avenues. And look, your business is you. You are your business. That is not a separate entity from you. It is you. And if you're like, well, what the hell is a witch wound? Go listen to my podcast the untamed healer, because I don't want to dive deep into that. I talk about this deeply on the first of the part 1 of this series. So go listen to that. And if you're like, I don't know how to find it. Hey, Chandni, I don't know how to find it. Just DM me podcast and I'll send you the link. Okay. So what this can look like in your personal life is it can make you undervalue yourself and the impact that you're making on others, because there's like this deep ingrained fear that if I do this, I'm going to be perceived as being manipulative. I feel like I'm being a fraud. Et cetera, et cetera. And literally it's the last thing that you want to do, to be dishonest, right? And so because of that, we're like playing it small. We're like, I know, like, Selena, I know you have amazing abilities as a powerful empath. Chandni, I know you have some amazing abilities, and I'm sure even more have activated. Santi, like, you're out there with your shop doing amazing things. Sam, I know you're a powerful Reiki master. Like, you guys all have really amazing abilities, and feel free, if you're watching live or if you're watching the replay, comment and tell me what those are. If you're listening to the podcast, shoot me a DM and tell me what your current abilities are that you know that you have. Share them with me. Share it with us. Share it with the collective. Like, this is one of those things that now I'm asking you to go out of your way to do something. Hey, Erica, also another powerful healer. I've got all my like evolution member babes on here, all of my untamed healer mini mind babes on here. I love this so much. Okay, so like, I'm asking you to go out of your way to do something that makes you feel uncomfortable. Tell us what it is that you do. Tell it what it is that you know who you are. Like, tell us. Because when we go out of our way to do the thing that had been causing us fear, that is one of the ways that we can subconsciously clear that shit. And remember, you are not separate from your soul. You are one from your soul. So whatever you clear on the human level, you also clear on a soul level. You're not separate. You are one. And so when we go out of our way to do the thing that had been causing us fear, it shows our unconscious mind. And I'm going to use this interchangeably: unconscious, subconscious, or mind. I'll just say mind. All the same. So we show mind that it is safe, because if we wouldn't be running into a fire, like if there was a fire and we're like, I'm not running into that, mind is perceiving, oh, that shit is not safe, so I'm not going to do that. Alert, 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 throw up the red flags, might die. Same thing with like sharing our abilities. It sounds so dumb and it sounds very dramatic, but our mind is literally just trying to keep us safe, alive. And so if that fire is now going live, or sharing our ability, or it's like, feeling like maybe I'm going to be seen as an imposter or a fraud, then that is the fire. That is mind going, alert, 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 not safe, might die. But if we're going out of our way to run into the fire, you were forged in the flames. P.S. Go watch my stories from yesterday. You were forged in the flames. Then mind is going to be like, oh, if she's running into the flames, if she's running into the fire, if he's running into the fire, must be okay. In this case, it's like sharing our abilities, right? So in our life, this is what it can look like, our personal lives. This also looks like having an intuitive hit, or feeling like empathically we're sensing somebody is often needs like somebody to listen to, or us to just be in their energy. And this can also look like getting like I mentioned, getting a hit. So getting a hit of something that somebody needs to hear and choosing just not to do it, or getting a nudge that we are supposed to do something or say yes to something, but we say no to it. So because of the fear of feeling like, will they even believe that I am doing this? Well, maybe they'll think that I'm a fraud or an imposter. That's how it's going to show up in your personal life. So it's really missing an opportunity to support someone in a way that is literally being called for you to support them. So in your business, let's rip on self-sabotage. This is one of my favorite topics to rip on. Oh my God. I don't know if I've done a podcast episode on this or not, but I really feel like if I haven't, I need to, because look, you did not wake up today and be like, think I'm gonna have a cup of coffee and a side of sabotage the fuck out of myself today. Excuse me. No, you did not say that. So when people are out here saying, you're self-sabotaging, no the fuck you're not. No, you are not. That is at an unconscious level. So let me tell you what's actually happening, because again, we are going to break the internet of this shit. And if you pick up anything today, please let it be this. Lean in and listen. You are not sabotaging yourself. You are not doing something wrong. There's nothing you could be doing differently. Because, again, mind is trying to keep you safe. Mind, subconscious or unconscious, use it all the same, okay? I'm just going to keep saying mind. Mind is wired to keep you safe, alive. This means breath, food, water, shelter, save the offspring. If it is threatening one of those things, it floods our body. Blood flows out of brain into body, into jaw so you can lunge forward and bite flesh, or into limbs so you can run super freaking fast to get away from the danger, or to bite flesh to be like, get the F away. It's 2024. Not super useful. I don't know about you, but when was the last time you actually felt that it would be useful to bite someone? Never. I would say likely never. Okay? So, mind is trying to keep you safe. So when you are going to do something and then you find yourself scrolling on social media, cleaning the house, doing something other than the thing it is that you want to do, but you're actually like, I'm gonna effing do this. And then you're like going, what society says is self-sabotage, whatever. Your mind is actually rerouting you because on a subconscious level, it has deemed as that's not safe. Even if it's something like going live. Even if it's something like maybe you're writing a book, and I had a conversation with another healer, I don't know, probably, I want to say like 5 or 6 months ago. And she's like, I just keep self-sabotaging. I'm trying to finish this book. I need to get it to the editor. And I'm like, you're not self-sabotaging. Let's talk about what's actually going on here. Because there's part of you, that part of inner mind that's like, it's not safe. But this isn't about the book. This is about something else. It's not about the fact that, you have these big aspirations. They're meant to be yours. But there's something in inner mind that says, hey, that's not safe, so let's go do something else that does feel safe. And when so I want you to start thinking right now, what is it, something that society says is self-sabotaging, but that you are desiring to do, but you find yourself being rerouted and you end up doing something else. So I want you right now, if you're live with me, maybe comment below and tell me, slide into my DMs and just tell me, and commit to the awareness that, okay, now I see this, now I'm going to go out of my way to go do the thing that mind says is trying to keep me safe from. That way I can go into the fire and be like, actually it's safe. The fire. Go into the fire. I'm going to go do this thing. Go out of my way to do the thing. That way, mind says now safe. And that is that is rewiring mind. And shifts on an unconscious level. Okay. So in business, this also looks like, look, we could keep ripping on self-sabotage. And if you want me to do a whole live on this, I absolutely can, or a whole podcast, just tell me, throw me some emojis, throw me a DM, like, come talk to me, tell me. Okay. So in business, this also looks like undercharging for your services, your gifts, your abilities, your programs, your offers, or doing shit for free. Not my world. Not my world. One of the first things that I look at when I'm working intimately with someone that has a business is I'm like, what's your prices? Let's talk about your prices, and we're going to raise those because you are worthy of being charged for your abilities, and healers get to be abundant too. You're utilizing your gifts, your abilities, your time, your energy, your soul's work. You're literally doing soul's work. You are literally, oh my God, you are literally changing somebody else's life. Sit with that for a second. What? You are literally changing somebody else's life. Why? Why are we not out here going balls to the wall, going ovaries to the wall and being like, soul on fire? He's like, yes, I'm going to go do that thing. And I get it. Because on an unconscious, same. I have been in a place where I'm like, I know I need to do this thing. I can feel it so much. It feels like it's bursting out of my body. And I'm like, and I feel like I'm going to die if I actually do that. So I get it. And this is where that deep inner work comes in as well. And it doesn't have to take a bunch of time. Healing does not have to take time. That is a cap that has been placed that I just am like, unpopular opinion, no, it doesn't. I literally, like in one call, cleared. Like, it doesn't have to take time. So undercharging or doing things for free is one way that it also shows up. And then not leaping forward with your signature programs, your ideas, or like if you have a higher value idea. I like to say higher value. In the business world, they call it high ticket. But this is like really taking your clients on a full journey. For me, that's the Rising Phoenix. That is my signature program to go from hidden healer to the fuck I am healer, which enrollment is now open. Shoot me a DM if you want the info, or link is in the bio too. But this is my signature program to take on a full journey. This was something I had to really embody myself. Program idea dropped in. I tried to launch it. My spirit team was like, hold up. We need to make you into the Rising Phoenix. And I was throwing it not once, but twice, so much so that I lit the match and burned my previous 6-figure healing business to the ground in a full-on Rising Phoenix tower moment that I was, again, forged in the flames. And so when we are listening to that voice, or we're hearing that voice that says, you're a fraud, you're an imposter, or you're being deceptive, or you are, it's manipulative, and you have like this soul urge to get something, even if it's like, I want to put out, maybe you do emotion code, or maybe you do teach Reiki, or maybe you have like tarot offerings, or maybe you want to build a tarot school, or whatever it is. Like, what is that program or that offer that you want to get out into the world? And also that one desire that's in your heart, like, I really want to teach on this. I really want to take someone through this journey. Like, oh my God, I can feel this in my heart right now. That somebody needs to hear this. You want to take someone on a journey, and yet it's like, but what if? And I want to dare you, but why not you? You are the one. You are the one that is meant to do this. It would not be in your mind, in your heart, if it wasn't meant to be you that was meant to take your soulmate clients on that journey. You are the one. So that is some of the ways that it shows up in your life and in your business. Let me take a drink really quick. And I wanted to talk to you about like what it looks like when you actually heal this. We've kind of talked about some of the ways that we do heal this. And then I'm going to give you some journaling prompts. If you're watching this on Instagram, or you're watching the replay or whatever on Instagram, I'm actually going to drop these journaling prompts on my podcast, like in the show notes. I feel like that's going to be the easiest way to do this. And so that way you have access to them, you can keep coming back to them. And I want to encourage you to do this work. And what I'm actually sensing and what I'm actually seeing for you is that like things are already clicking into place. You're already having aha moments. You're already seeing this as a possibility and potential, and you're playing in the field of possibility and potential. And what I'm also seeing for you and sensing for you is that you're like, yeah, I can do this. It's already done. And every day you're taking one step and taking one step, and you're noticing one thing that will feel good to have done and is possible to do. And as you're doing it, you are like, yes, I can do this. I feel more alive. I feel more alive. And things are falling into place. It's coming together better than I could have imagined. I'm seeing this street light. I love using this analogy where it's like you're walking down a darker street. You're safe. You're fine. Everything's good. It's a perfect, cool, like perfect temperature evening for you. And you're like, you notice one street light comes on. You know how when you're walking, I don't know, maybe this isn't the case for you, but have you ever seen a street light where as it starts to go dark in the evening, like the street lights start coming on? So when you're walking down the street and you're like, oh, a street light came on. And then you continue to walk and you're like in this energy of it's already done and I've done it and I'm doing the things and I'm doing one thing that will feel good to have done and is possible to do. And you're just like, oh, another street light came on. And you're just like, oh, I'm just doing the things and I'm being in the energy and I'm being in the version of myself that already has it done and it's already fucking done. And then you turn around and you notice the whole street is lit up. That is your journey. You didn't know how it would happen, but you did it anyway. And it is done. It is literally done. All you have to do is one thing and then one more thing. And then, be in that energy, the energy of complete. And sometimes it feels like, oh, I have all of these ideas. How do I get there? One thing, how do you brush your teeth? I don't know about you, but I grab my toothbrush, I turn my faucet on, get it a little bit wet, turn the faucet off, put toothpaste on, a little bit more water. I don't know if anybody else does that. And then I brush the bottom and then I move it over and then flip and whatever, 2-3 minutes later, whatever. Then I rinse. Then I get the toothpaste out of the sink. If you were to actually like go step by step by step by step by step, brushing your teeth, it's like, wow, that's actually a lot of steps. But we call it brushing our teeth. One day you're going to call it, I'm showing up and I'm launching this program that is changing fucking lives. Right now it feels like, oh, that's like kind of a lot of steps. But one day it's going to be called, I'm showing up and I'm changing lives. Okay? That's it. One thing that will feel good to have done and is possible to do. And that's what I'm seeing for you. And so when you heal this, I can't even. If you're listening to the replay, I'm like jumping up and down. I'm like, your confidence increases and your authenticity increases online. How I'm talking today is not how I talked 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Now I've collapsed time and my clients are like, bam, within, I don't know, sometimes one call with this much increase in confidence. Sometimes it's within a week or two. Sometimes it's like, I don't even know what happened a couple days ago because things have shifted so fast. I know, Selena, you're seeing this inside of the mini mind. It's just like, what is even actually happening? I'm like, I know. It's my secret. So your confidence and your authenticity increases online. This is, in my opinion, one of the biggest, it's so funny. This is one of the biggest secrets to success that not a lot of people are talking about, whether it's in your personal life or in your business or your full-time job. When your confidence increases, your authenticity increases, people are literally magnetized to you. When we heal this, your spiritual abilities increase. When you trust yourself and your own abilities and what you're doing, everything amplifies. Everything amplifies. I call these, like, from the spiritual sense, I call these clearing the low frequencies. fear, shame, guilt, resentment are huge. Anger, those are like the main 5. Yeah. Guilt, shame, resentment, fear, anger are the main like big 5. And a lot of them are carried they're carried mostly in the lower 3 chakras. So your root, your sacral, and your solar plexus. I personally have done a shitload of solar plexus work. That is the one that I had worked on the most when I started my my biggest spiritual awakening. And yeah, now it's like, I'm like, when was the last time I actually did like a lot of solar plexus work? About a year ago, when I was going through like a modern day witch hunt. That's a story for another day that I can definitely do a live on. But when you clear those lower 3, and when you clear those frequencies, when I say low frequencies, it's not good or bad, it just is. It's these emotions that are not supportive for you, and they're trying to tell you something, and we clear them. We literally clear them. And when you clear space of thoughts and emotions that are not supportive for you, that are not useful, then you make space for abundance. You make space for your abilities. They are activated. They come online. They elevate. Just clarity drops in, creativity drops in, logic, power, like all of these, confidence, just bliss, joy, just everything amplifies as eyes roll back in your head. Like things are so good, that good. You feel me? Okay. Your impact increases as well because you deeply know who you are and what it is that you're here to do. And it's felt. That shit is felt. I don't know about you, but I definitely have people follow that I'm like leaning in. I was on a 2.5-hour masterclass yesterday because I fucking love being in her energy so much. And it was a masterclass that I was super aligned with. Something I really wanted to do was like, do I want to be on a masterclass? I have a whole to-do list of things coming out of my cycle that I'm like, I really want to do these things. But I was like, I feel like I need to be on this. And within the first 5 minutes, I was like bawling. Something immediately shifted. And I was like, I'm meant to be here. You have those people that you just like lean in and you're just like, I really want to be in their energy. That's what people are for you. When you clear this, when you heal this, when you release it, but there's no question about it within yourself. You fully trust yourself. You're in the embodiment and you own it. You own it. And that's what it looks like. And sometimes when you're here, it can be hard to see here. And what I want you to do is I want you to get clear on who this version of you is. That it's already fucking done. If you need something to step into that embodiment, go to the link in my bio, Rising in Power. That 5-day experience is free. Go do it. There's no excuse. It's free. And I'm telling you right now, it will help you clear, release, free, step into the embodiment if you follow it. 100%, I know. It's good. So go grab that. But I want you to get clear on who is a version of you that like fraud, imposter, whatever. I don't give a shit what people think about me. I'm going to go. I am the one who goes because I said I would. I can feel it in my soul. I am meant to go do this thing. What is it? Go do it. And who is the version of you that is that? What qualities does she have? How does she think? How does she feel? What are her thought patterns? What is she doing on a day-to-day basis? How is she taking action? How does she dress? How does she carry herself? What are the things that she's doing on a day-to-day basis to move into alignment, to move into action? How is she clearing it in her day-to-day life? What is she investing in? And step into that version of you right now. Time isn't real. Time's not real. You already know that. So collapse it. That's how you, like, people are like, how do you quantum leap? That's how you quantum leap. It's already fucking done. And then it's like, okay, well, yeah, I've got the human experience that I'm living over here. Like bills to pay and chores to do, wah, wah. And also, how do we do it in the version of ourselves that already has the things that we want to do or want to have? The dream board that is on your wall or on your Pinterest. A lot of my clients love to do the Pinterest. This is something I like to do too. Pinterest and Amazon. When I was manifesting our move, we moved here in 3 months across the country, bought a house. Husband is in a new job. He is, I'm telling you, like, my husband was selected to be a drill sergeant for the Air Force, and he is almost done with the training. And the masculine from that man in this role, I was like, yes. But like this move, and when I talk to let me just riff on this for a second. When I talk to some of the people that are also spouses of this particular career field, their experience is so different because I'm choosing different. I know his schedule is going to get so crazy. And I also know we are in such a good space, and I'm in a good space too, where I'm supported. I continue to work on myself. I'm present with my kids when they're home or they're like not doing their own thing. And we come together and we connect. And that's it. Like the rest is just like, whatever. What is the reality that you want to create now? So when we were moving from South Dakota to Texas and buying a house, choosing new schools for the kids, I mean, Texas is like, San Antonio is effing huge. I wanted good schools for my kids. The end, nothing less. And it literally all fell together better than I could have ever imagined. Better than I could have even imagined, Erica, yes. Like there's so often we see evidence of people creating the reality of which is really not of highest service for them. And sometimes we're just going through the human experience, and truly people are just doing the best that they can do. And when we are in awareness of this, it's like, okay, well, I know better now. Like, not I know better. Like, I know better. I shouldn't have done that. Doesn't matter because it doesn't exist. But now that I'm aware, how can I make moves as the version of me that has the reality that I desire to have? That's it. And then as we, I don't want to say drop back because that's not really useful, but how can I say this differently? So as we are in awareness that we are not in the embodiment of the version of ourselves that has our desires, that feels the way we actually desire to feel, in this human experience, we can be like, actually, that's not my reality, and shift, and shift, and shift, and it's a full-time job. I just had this last night. I had been sitting thinking about something, and, I'm going to get emotional. Okay. I was sitting thinking about something. I was feeling a little bit of frustration. I didn't know I was going to get emotional. And I was sharing this with my husband. And Matt said to me, like, we both desire to have a 392 Jeep. And, she fast. And yes. And so, and I love my Jeep. Like, I don't know, even if I upgrade or when I upgrade Jeeps, I'll still keep my puppy. She's my heart and soul. But he was pulling from the version of me that already has my desires. He knows the things that I want to do on a bigger level, on like how I'm giving back to the community, the impact that I want to make, but also like we have dream board stuff too. And he's like, okay, but when you have that 392, like nothing else would have mattered. And it just anchored me back into the future version of me. And I was like, this doesn't even seem like a big deal now. It just wasn't a big deal because it's already done. And I just get to keep moving, and you just keep moving. You just keep making the decision to step into awareness and shift and shift. And when you're like, whoop, I'm having a human experience, or real life shit, like sometimes life gets like, sometimes it's like pow, and it's like one by one, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to clear the fears, the limiting beliefs, the imposter syndrome, the feeling like I was being manipulative or a fraud, or et cetera, et cetera. And I want you to just step back into this embodiment of who you are. Remember who the F you are. And it's already done. So, okay, I want you to journal on these. I'm going to put these in the podcast show notes as well, so you have them. And if you are driving, please don't try to write this down. I always do this because I want to remind you, if you are texting and driving, knock that shit off. Like if you are distracting, or if you are distracted while you are driving, I'm going to tell you right now, stop it. I've lost so many people and seen lives cut so short. I'm like, stop. Don't do that. It can wait. Okay. Okay. Now we're off that soapbox. So is it actually fact what you're doing doesn't work or doesn't make an impact? And if you are watching this with me, comment and tell me, is it actually fact? Is it fact that what you're doing doesn't work or doesn't make an impact? I'll wait. I'm just saying, like, when we ask ourselves questions, it really just is like, oh, yeah. The self-sabotage is about not feeling safe. Yeah, you're welcome. I'm so glad that landed. And so the second journaling prompt, and I'm going to come back to that as well, is what is true about your gifts and abilities? What is the actual truth about your gifts and abilities? Dropping everything else, everybody else's thoughts, opinions, their perceptions, their beliefs. What is true about your abilities? And then I want you to reflect on, when in your life have you used your gifts and abilities to make a deep impact? You have. I know you have. And then I want you to ask, when else and any other times? When else and any other times? And the reason why I ask you to ask these more than once is because your mind is going to start to scan for when in your life that this has been your reality. But then you ask again, it's going to be like, oh, okay, let me rescan. And then it'll be like, oh, let me rescan. And then like more and more will pop up. It is automatic for your mind, your human mind, to start looking for the negative. It's a safety mechanism. Because red flag, alive, mind trying to keep you not dead. And so I like saying it that way, because when we kind of like make light of it, it's like, oh, I got it, right? And so scanning, when we shift to being intentional or stepping into awareness of this is the actual truth, and we start looking for how things are working in our favor, then our mind will start to make that automatic to where it start looking for the good. And instead of automatically looking for the threat, it'll still happen, because it's literally our wiring, and it's okay. Like cave people. You have to go listen to my podcast, okay? Literally. And I'm going to start doing more lives too, because this feels really fun. Okay, so how did it feel to know that you made an impact, no matter how large or small? How did it feel to know that you made an impact, no matter how large or small? And then if no one would get mad, no one would judge, and everything would be completely fine, how would you show up? How would you show up? And how would that feel? And what one action, one, not all of them, one, can you take right now to show up in your power and authenticity? When I say authentic, when I say power, when I say confidence, this is not confident like me. This is confident like you. I know Selena and I, we've had conversations about this as well, or, several of my clients, it's like, well, I could never be confident like you. Great. I don't want you to be confident like me. I am a Gemini sun, Aries rising, look, and a Manny Jen, a bubbly, outgoing extrovert. Unless like I'm on my cycle, then I'm like kind of like, hold me, cuddle me, let me just be a potato on the couch. And I don't really want to people for a couple days, but that's usually my max. I'm usually like, I'm the morning person. I'm the one that wakes up and I'm like, do, 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 do. Most of the time, I'm that person. If that's not your natural state of being, then don't. But what does confidence look like for you? What does authenticity look like for you? What does being in your power look like for you? And own that shit. What is one thing that you can do today that, to step into your power and authenticity? I'm shedding. I cannot wait to get my hair cut. We chopping it off, PS, in a couple weeks. I'm so excited. Okay, so yeah. The self-sabotage is all about not feeling safe. Absolutely. And I'm so glad that landed for you, because I feel like when we are stepping into awareness of the self-sabotage piece, where society has been like, oh, you're just sabotaging yourself, like, just stop it. And I'm like, not super useful. I'm like, scroll. That keeps us in a victim mind state. And I don't know about you, but I'm not here to save other people. I want to empower other people. And I think that that's true for you as well. You're not here to be saved. You're here to empower yourself. And you're not here to save other people. You're here to support other people in clearing what's not theirs so they can live their best life. Right? And so it's just not useful to be like, well, you're self-sabotaging. And I'm like, great. Well, how do I stop? Well, there's not a lot of answers out there, and they're not super useful, but it's when we look at it from the unconscious perspective, and this is the RRT perspective, Rapid Resolution Therapy, created by Dr. John Connolly. And this is like literally, and that's one of the main things I utilize inside of my containers is this piece as well. When I'm taking the grounded spiritual approach, this is one of the perspectives that I utilize, and I utilize it likely the most, because you're a high vibrating soul having a human experience. You cannot bypass the mind, and you cannot bypass the subconscious mind either. And so when we understand that it's literally how we were wired, and then we take steps with specific verbiage, which I've intentionally utilized in this live today. So I know that you've had a shift today. We then shift little by little by little, one thing at a time. Selena says, God, to the fact that this is working. A colleague now comes to sit with me during break because it calms her. Yes, of course it does. Of course it does. Like you, and also, I mean, most of my clients and the people that are in my world are like this, but like you, Selena, specifically, and Christiane, that is one of my Rising Phoenix alums. You guys have like this really cool gift that people just naturally calm in your energy. And I think that's so freaking cool. Like I know Christiane I don't think she would mind me saying this, but she's like, Christiane's just like, literally, people will ask me to do, my hands are vibrating. Literally people will ask me to do Reiki on them because they're feeling anxious or something. And she's like, don't feel like doing that, but I'm just going to sit. And she's like, people will be like, oh, well, thanks, I feel so much better. And she's like, I just sat down. Just sat next to them. She's like, you're welcome for breathing. And I'm like, that's your gift. Own that. My gifts are neutralizer and activator. So naturally, by being my energy, I neutralize fears, limiting beliefs. They're just poof. But then, you combine that with the energetics and with like energy work and with subconscious reprogramming. It's just like, 10x, 100x. And then activator is my other gift. And this is, I'll never forget the first time that I realized I was doing this. I wasn't doing anything, but naturally activating your spiritual abilities or gifts with my soul. It's like my soul essence. I got on a call with a previous coach that I had worked with for almost 2 years. She is a badass. And she literally started bam, 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 channeling, just completely channeling. And at the end of the call, she's like, I have literally never experienced anything like this. And so we started diving into this like a few months later, like, why is this? Because now I'm noticing that this is happening inside of my world. And this is what we figured out. And I was like, this is so crazy. So anyway, you have soul gifts that are the essence of who you are. And when you know those, you're like, just by me existing. So for you, just by you existing, you are supporting people. And now it's like, okay, now that I know this, like, where am I called? What one thing would feel good to have done and is possible to do that I can take steps forward in my power, right? So thank you guys so much for joining. You are so welcome to watch the replay. I'm going to pop this on the Untamed Healer podcast. If you are like, hey, I really want to take notes on this, or, you want the journaling prompts, the Untamed Healer podcast. If you are unable to find it, or if you just want the direct link or whatever, just shoot me a DM with the word podcast and I will send that your way. Also, the Rising Phoenix is open for enrollment. Today is the last day for the pre-sale, 1111 off. And this is a program to go from hidden healer to the FIAM healer. It is an unshackling, unbecoming, all the BS, societal, limiting beliefs, fears, imposter syndromes, witch wounds, so you can step into the woman, the healer that you desire to be, the person that you know, or at a soul, or the soul level of who you know your witch to be. And we do this through 3 phases. This is the burning and the ashes, where we're burning down all of like the fears, limiting beliefs, witch wounds. We work on the mindset. We are burning in the flames. So this is the burn down of the witch wounds, the societal beliefs, we talk about the harmonization of the masculine and the feminine energy, and then the rise. So this is where you step into your mother effing power. You own your spiritual gifts and abilities, and you really begin to, like, at this point, the women are already in the embodiment piece because we've cleared so much and it clears fast. And what I really love about the work inside of this container, but really the work inside of my world period, is that because of the way that I do it, especially utilizing, like, integrating the RRT perspective, rapid resolution therapy perspective, is that oftentimes in the spiritual community, there's a lot of like roller coaster of emotions. And I'm not saying that sometimes that shit happens. Sometimes it just happens and it's like, okay, great. Now I'm supported and I have someone to support me and guide me through this process. But when we are utilizing it, the transformations are quick, they're painless, and they're lasting. And so, Rising Phoenix, DM me Rising Phoenix if you want the info. Link is also in the bio if you're like, I'm just ready to apply. And then we'll see if it's a good fit for you. I'll just ask you a bunch of questions. We'll see if it's a good fit for you. And if it's not, then we will find the container that is best fit for you. So anyway, regardless of what you decide, I'm so excited to hear how this live supported you. Go check out my first, what is this? This one's the 4th one. So the first 3 episodes on the Witch Wind series on the podcast. There's tons of other things in the podcast. And then also, I'll be likely going live with the next one as well, which is one of my favorites. I've saved the best for last, but they're all amazing. I'm going to talk about the sisterhood wound next. I'm so excited. Okay. I love you guys. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon.